Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster Perfect Stats Guide. I'm actually just going to do a little, I've got a little video here for just kind of like some, loose ends that we need to tie up before finishing the World of Balance. And I also wanted to toss in the footage here of kind of like the payoff from really manipulating the floating continent, and basically in the previous video there, I kind of went through. I guess it was actually twice, and so what I did was made sure that I only ran into either this formation with the two ninjas, which by the way was very, very rare. It was crazy how long it took to find this specific formation. And then the dragon, the solo dragon. So, and again, here's where it kind of all pays off. And this is kind of how I farmed these guys. The ninjas are brutal. And if you haven't, I suppose if you're really, really fast, right? And again, this is, by the way, this is also if you're glitching. If you're not glitching, Ragnarok, don't worry about this stuff. This isn't for you. Again, respect to anybody that doesn't want to do that. I've just played the game so many times now that, had I not kind of discovered the glitch, I probably wouldn't have bothered playing at all. Because again, I already did a perfect stats guide for this a long time ago. Though this version still is a little bit more interesting because again, you can do a little bit more with it and squeeze a little bit more stats out, but. Anyways, all right, so these are the ninjas, and so I morphed, what was that, Viper Darts this time. Viper Darts is a really good weapon, actually, for Setzer. It is able to just one-shot, kill. So a lot like the Assassin, and the Assassin is for Locke, and then the Ichigeki is Shadow's version of it. Those weapons are really interesting, especially in this game, because there's a bug, as far as I can tell anyway, where if you dispatch something like the Gigantos, for instance, that is going to drop an item all the time, it'll drop two. Pretty interesting. There's another Assassin Dagger for you. So the ninjas, whenever you morph these guys, 50% of the time they'll give you the Viper Darts. 25% of the time you'll get an Assassin Dagger, and then the last 25% of the time you'll get the Ichigeki. So again, this is I don't know, I like doing this. This was fun. Like I think so. Like the Ichigeki is not actually even available until the World of Ruin normally, so it was kind of a cool way to get a hold of one. Now you don't really get to use it a whole lot. Obviously, Shadow. The only time that you can use that, right, is for Shadow, and that's while he's on the floating continent. But I did think it was at least interesting nonetheless. So there it is. There's the Ichigeki. So anyways, this is kind of like the payoff for all that work. But again, you got to be really careful with these guys. Basically what I'm doing here is I've got that pack, which I think this one is pack 23. I think it's 23. And I think the Dragon pack is 24. But pack 23, there's nothing else in it. It is literally just these two ninjas. And the reason why I did that was because this process takes a long time, morphing. Morphing gets so much easier in the World of Ruin, but, I just wanted to kind of do this as early as possible. And also on top of that, once we actually do get to the World of Ruin, these packs are going to be probably completely ruined, because I'll have to grab a bunch of the other monsters up on the floating continent for Gao for his rage list. So again, I just wanted to do that now. It wasn't that bad, but again, it is a little time consuming. So here again, I'm just showing you this is stealing the Genji gloves from the dragons. Again, I basically just do the same thing. You save right before this pack. This one, I believe, again is pack 24, and there's nothing else in this. It's just the dragon. This one takes, a little bit of foresight, though, because there's a couple of monsters right outside the Esper Cave that will be a part of, I believe it's this pack. Hopefully I don't have that. Let me just see here. I just want to make sure that this is the right one. What did I say? Pack 24, yes, Dragon. Yep, Chimera, Devourer ×2, and then the Briareus ×2. So again, those are formations right outside of the Esper Cave. And if you're not careful, you'll stumble upon those, and that will mess up that pack for you. But I don't know. There's other ways to get Genji gloves, obviously, but this one was I guess the earliest and the most repeatable, it seemed like to me. That said, we might be able to tweak the Velt a little bit later to be able to morph them fairly well. But this just seemed like a decent way to do it. So again, that's the payoff for all of that work on the floating continent. I think I ended up with like 8 or somewhere between 8 and 10 Genji gloves. And then here's another. This is actually a missable dance for Mog. So basically, what I did here was just park the airship on the or at the cave right by the end of the Velt there, and so we jump into the serpent. This is the Serpent Trench. Sorry, and in this version of the game, because Leviathan was not added. I think that was Game Boy Advance. I barely played that one, so I don't remember much about it. But anyways, in this version of the game, there is no Leviathan. So if you want to get all of Mog's dances, you need to come here. So that's what I'm doing here. Again, I actually tweaked my Velt a little bit here. I didn't want to get into too much more, but whatever. I cut all that stuff out. So, all right. Next, it looks like Narsh. I missed a formation in here earlier on in the game, and we need to get that now. It's the Valior, and I think it's Wild Rat. So I'm just gonna zip around in here. I guess I went in a little bit farther. Okay, maybe it's not in this first screen. Yeah, it must be up a little bit farther. Oh yeah, we're Rat Bandit. Yeah. So again, I missed this on the trip through. I believe it was it became available during like the Terra scenario, and I made it through here so quickly that I never even got into this one. So here I just took a quick save here, and this should be it. That's the one that I wanted. So it's the 3 wild rats and the 2 Valiors. I kind of like that one because it's it got to the point where I wanted more monsters in my formation so that I could get more money, and I think that formation was pretty good. All right, so here we are in between Jador and Zozo, and I think so. This is one of the formations. This is the 3 rock wasps, 2 Paraladia. I didn't have those in my pack earlier because I was morphing Hillgigas, and I wanted that Hillgigas by itself. So that's why I didn't get that pack. And then here's another pack that I needed. I need the 2 Bloodfang and single Vulture. Again, same reason. All this stuff, kind of leading up to Zozo, I wanted to be really careful because you can, like I said, you can actually morph those Hillgigas into organics, and it's kind of funny because I never ended up really doing anything with those because that weapon breaks on you, which is really annoying. But yeah, anyways, that was the plan, was to get those, and so now I had to go back then obviously and fill up these packs with the monsters that I'm missing. Here's the single Chimera. Normally I would go with something that I got really lucky and stole that right on the first turn. But anyways, normally I try to grab some packs that have a little bit more monsters in it, but I still wanted to try to keep that dragon a little bit on its own. So I went with the single Chimera, sorry. And now we need the Briareus, and I think it's single Devourer. Yeah, here we are. So that knocks out a bunch of the monsters here outside of the cave. I don't know if this seems like this clip is really long to have no more battles in it, but let's just see here. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So I went inside. Yeah. So I guess that was it for outside. And now I'm heading on in here to the Esper Cave, and this is the outside. So this is the Venu Benu, and these guys are in the same pack as the Gigantos, which is why I didn't, I should say why I avoided them earlier. I wanted to farm those Gigantos, though they dropped that the Sasuke blade, and that's it's a monster in a box up on the floating continent, but. Again, and that's actually the same thing here with the two Land Grillin and Mandrake. These share the same pack as that the Gigantos, and then the other monster or the other formation that's in that pack that I took was the two, was it Sky Armor and then one Spitfire? I think that's the one. It's the formation with 3, right? And again, so it's basically those 4 formations that end up kind of that I guess that I have now with the Gigantos. So, and that is where I found out that little bug there with the the weapons that can instant kill. Again, there's a little bit of a bug with those. It seems like where if you insta kill something like the Gigantos that is always going to drop an item, it will drop 2 instead. So. Pretty cool, I suppose. Seems unintended, but it does make for some interesting things. Now here's the bomb forest. I really like that bomb by itself. I actually came here quite a while ago when I first got the airship, and I actually came in here and grabbed that single bomb formation, and that is in its own pack. For now, anyway. We'll get some more monsters in that pack, I'm sure, eventually, but. It made that bomb really, or made it really easy to morph into flame shields. So, and flame shields are amazing. So again, if you're glitching, I highly recommend, doing that and getting quite a few. That last monster there was the grenade. Unfortunately, the grenade shares the same pack as the dragon, which I don't love that, but there's just no way around it. And now that I'm done grabbing or farming Genji gloves, it kind of doesn't matter anyway, so I just threw that one in there before the transition, obviously, into the World of Ruin. Here is the 3-bug fossil dragon. I wanted this one. I freaking hate those mobs. That fossil dragon constantly zombies your characters. So again, glad that I waited to put that pack in until basically I was done. Here's the Intangir, whatever. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say this thing's name. But I think I added some stuff here just to kind of show you how to beat this guy. Really the key is stop, and probably having some decent ability, or decent magic. Weak against Holy, that doesn't really help us, huh? And why do I only have 3 characters here? What am I doing? That's very strange. Whatever, I guess I was pretty confident. I've got 2 debilitators now. It's tough to get a hold of those. The first time that they're available is that crane right at the end of the minecart ride. That's extremely rare. I had a real hard time stealing that. But the other one's a lot easier to come by, and that is from the Imperial Air Force. And I can't remember, is it the Missile Bay? I think he's the Missile Bay that's got it. And it is, I think it's still a rare steal, but it doesn't have anything else as a common, so it's a lot easier to get a hold of. But here, I mean, look at, you got to be at least a little bit leveled, right? So basically, towards the end of the World of Balance here, I made sure I leveled everybody to 24, other than Gao. Gao is leveled quite a bit more. He's really, I really wasn't paying enough attention here. But really, there's a couple of different things that you can do with this guy. Honestly, I think that the easiest way to beat him is to just get lucky with Ragnarok. But that doesn't always pay off. So the other things that you really want to do though is hit stop. Did I cast stop on lock? God. Boy, that the cursor memory every once in a while gets me, gets me good. But So anyway, so you can use Debilitator a lot, right? And that'll you know, stick a couple of vulnerabilities on this guy. And then, you know, just, I don't know, hopefully you get something that you can actually, you know, use. But again, stop is pretty important here. The other thing that you can do too is just to really play it safe. You can actually rasp this guy to death. He'll literally just sit there if you just cast rasp over and over, and he won't ever counterattack. It's probably the safest way to kill him. It probably will take you a while, though. Gao, you know, if he's leveled and he's leveled with magic power, he can take a lot of MP from this guy at a time. But yeah. Anyways, I wanted to try that, or at least, you know, show you guys a less cheesy way to get him. But anyways, I'm out of time. So as always, I hope the guide was helpful and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.